Good morning, beloveds. As you can see, I'm coming to you live from my car. We went to Coles Crossing this morning, which is a park that's actually in a neighborhood, but a running club paid to make a really nice park that anybody could use. And they got the rights to so that we could park at the school in the neighborhood on Saturdays to run in the park or walk in the park. And so we went and explored parts of that park, and it's a nice park. There's this huge part of it that's a floodplain. We still haven't seen all of it because it's big, and I still got my 3 miles in and still didn't see all of it. So, all right, it is April 23rd. Our title is Living in the Now, and we actually have 3 quotes. For whosoever will save their life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose their life for my sake shall find it. And that is Matthew 16:25. And then we have a quote from the Science of Mind text. What we are to lose is the sense of living apart from life. We find ourselves in the divine idea, immersed in the infinite Godhead, one with the perfect whole. And so that's the Science of Mind text, and that is page 454. And then the last one is, the new life and the new person are not products of destruction, but rather of selection and a new order of thinking. And that is a book called Learn to Live, page 103. Okay. There is a beautiful song entitled Yesterday When I Was Young. I love the melody, though I find the words to be rather dreary. They consider the present to be filled with sorrow because it lacks the love and happiness of yesterday. All of us have wonderful memories of yesteryear, of the fun we had and the way we looked and the friends we knew. In short, we treasure our memories. If the idea of age is keeping you from today's enjoyment, now is the time to embody the idea that age is nobody's business. If you are dreading your next birthday because of the number of years it represents, you are hiding from life because you think you are too old. Then now is the time to realize and accept life is forever young, vibrant, and flowing through you now. Allow the energy of life itself to flow through you in unimpeded joyness. Life is not dependent on chronological numbers. Life simply is. Live today to its fullest by basking in the pure joy of living. Find a hobby, get involved with interesting people, read a fascinating book, stretch your mental muscles to embody the pure joy of livingness. Do it now. My age has nothing to do with chronology. I have another transcendental day. Chronology. I see myself as vital and stimulating. I live and love today. I am aware of the eternality of my being. I live in the now. And that is NH, which I went ahead and looked up, and that's Norma Hawkins. So when we were walking in the park today, Tom said something about 20 years. And then he looked over at me and he said, in 20 years, I'm going to be 73. And I went, what? And it did. It gave us a pause because he crossed into, his 50s 3 years ago, and I will turn 50 this year. And yet, 50 is not old. When you think back to your grandparents being 50 at my age, 50 was old. 60 was old. And I look at my mom, and my mom she's 68. She's going to turn 60. So she's not 70 yet. She'll be 70 next year. And she just keeps going. She keeps living. She's so much more vibrant than her mother was, at this age. And I expect to do the same because she's got things to do. She's got things that she loves. The woman quilts. I think she intends to live another 30 years because that's how many quilts she has to make. And when I say has to make, I mean has to make, not that she has to do it. She does it because she loves it. She's found something that she loves. She's found something that's worth living for. She has a good partner. And she and one of her sisters are very involved in this quilt making. They love it. It's something that makes them happy and joyous. It's something that they look forward to. And that, I think, really is kind of the secret to life, is you want something in your life that makes life worth living, and it can be anything. Absolutely. That's why she says at the end, read a fascinating book, plan a trip, go and live. And artists would agree with that. It's like, what have you got to live for? What have you got to live for? And if you don't have anything to live for, then, and trust me, coming from a place of, anxiety and depression, that's exactly the question that we ask ourselves. Well, what do we have to live for? And fortunately for me, when I had to ask that question, I looked at the people in my life and go, okay, I love these people. Right now, I can live for them until I could find what I needed to live for me. And that's what it is. What do I have to live for? Well, now I live for me. Now, I love the people in my life, and I absolutely definitely live for them as well, but I live for me. But it's because I've made these choices to do these things, with my getting into ministerial school, I definitely have a purpose there, a mission there, there's work to be done. And so I live for the now because there's stuff to do. There's things to learn. And that's really it, I think, for me. There's things to live. There's always something new to learn. I think that's why I've been in the health food industry for as long as I have, because there's always something new to learn. And so I can live for the now. All right. You don't have to live for God. Okay? Because you're doing that anyway. You don't have to make God the sole purpose of your living, but you are living and having experiences for God. So don't make it a religious thing. Make it a you thing. Live for you now. What is it that makes life worth living? And if you're not doing that, how can you get some of that in your life? Yeah. Okay. So living in the now. And you know what? Take the Matthew quote because I don't know what to do with it. For whosoever will save their life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose their life for my sake shall find it. Matthew 16:25. People have done terrible things with that quote, so take it for what it is worth to you. But in the science of mind, what we are to lose is the sense of living apart from life. It's like, let's give up the illusion that we are a separate entity. We are part of a system, and everyone around us is part of that system too. And I think that's one of the things that kept me here at that, at that critical point in my life, is I looked at the people around in my life and said, I can't do that to them. So I engaged with all of life, not just, the illusion of the separation of me. We find ourselves in the divine idea, immersed in the infinite Godhood, one with the perfect whole. Science of Mind, 454. Okay, and then learn to live. The new life and the new person are not products of distraction, but rather of selection and a new order of thinking. And I really like that, okay? When we give stuff up, we are making choices, we are making selections, and we are thinking of a new. We don't have to destroy anything to create a new us. We just make choices, all right? And that right there is the cornerstone of science of mind. Be aware that you have a choice. Be aware that you have a choice. Okay, so that's a book called Learn to Live, page 103. I'm not familiar with this song. Yesterday when I was young, now I might have to go look it up. Obviously, this is something that Norma was familiar with and liked. There's a beautiful song entitled Yesterday When I Was Young. I love the melody, and there's a lot of songs that I like where I like the music is beautiful, then you listen to the words and you go, what? I love listening to words, but I'm a storyteller, so I always listen to the story that the song is telling me. Though I find the words rather dreary. They consider the present to be filled with sorrow because it lacks the love and happiness of yesterday. All of us have wonderful memories of yesteryear, the fun we've had, the way we looked, the friends we knew. In short, we treasure our memories. And we should, you know. Part of life is going out and making good memories, okay? But we make the memories in the now. So if you don't have fantastic memories, you have a chance to make them now, all right? The title is Living in the Now. If the idea of age, and she uses quotes here, is keeping you from today's enjoyment, now is the time to embody the idea that, open quote, age is nobody's business, close quote. I met a woman yesterday who told me she was 63, and I was like, I would never have guessed that. You know, because she was vital and moving and asking questions and interested in learning. If you are dreading your next birthday because of the number of years it represents, if you are hiding from life because you think you are, quote, too old, then now is the time to realize and accept that life is forever young, vibrant, and flowing through you now. And that's the truth. God is, Spirit is infinite. Spirit is not bound by time. Spirit is always young. So when we open ourselves up to life, that's the energy that flows in. That energy is always going to be young, always going to be vibrant, always going to be, what did she say, joyful? Young, vibrant, joyful. That's what life is, you know. And so when we open ourselves up to it, and again, see, I'm talking about life. I'm not talking about God. I am talking about spirit, though. And yeah, it's all the same thing, but you know what I mean. When we let that in, then we open up to the possibilities. We open up to the possibilities. So allow the energy of life itself to flow through you in unimpeded joyousness. I'm taking out and adding syllables and random words. Life is not dependent on chronological numbers. Say it that way. Life simply is. Life doesn't care if you're, 2, 42, 72. Life doesn't care about any of that. Life just is. It's up to us to make the most of it. Live today to its fullest by basking in the pure joy of living. Find a hobby. Get involved with interesting people. And we are interesting people. All science of mind people are interesting people. I've never met a boring science of mind person. So find a hobby. Get involved with interesting people. Read a fascinating book, which I hear, learn something. Stretch your mental muscles to embody the pure joy of livingness. Do it now. My age has nothing to do with chronology. I see myself as a vital and as stimulating. I live and love today. Because then the truth is, all we have is right now. I am aware of the eternality of my being, and I live in the now. All right, Norma Hawkins, thank you very much. So, you've heard your mission. You've heard your mission. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to live the fullest by basking in the joy of living. And I'll be honest with you, you know what? And that's a good one for a Saturday because, Saturday is my sacred day. Saturday is the day that I reserve to do nothing. Now, that's not true because I'm doing the Sunday service tomorrow, so I got to get my notes in order. That's the one thing I have to do. But that's it. I take Saturday as my Sabbath, I guess you would say. It is my day to cuddle with my cats and do what I want and really enjoy life. And rest. And when I cuddle with my cats, that really is basking in the joy of living for me. Find that in your life, please. I encourage you, whatever it is, and start small. That's one of the reasons why, because the next thing I'm going to ask you is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. That's part of that. And that's part of that joy of living. When you are kind, compassionate, and loving with yourself, then it opens up the possibility of the joy and the living and just, being you. And I also advocate starting small. Sometimes the most kind thing you can do for yourself is to take 3 deep breaths. Sometimes it's just 1. You take those deep breaths and you go, I can do this. I can do this. And sometimes it means taking a walk or taking a nap or taking a day or taking a vacation. Maybe the kind, compassionate thing you need to do is book yourself a week of vacation. Okay? But it is a spiritual practice and it is about entering the joy of living gently. Or you can throw yourself whole hog into it. I'm down for that too. Because you've seen me. Yeah. Okay. All right. I am about to go get my the back of my head shaved, which will be good, and my mane tamed a little bit. So I'm gonna get off here, but I am going to encourage you, as I always do. Do something to engage your mind and your body. I got a gorgeous shot of a cardinal this morning, who landed in the tree just above us. Out of the 6 shots I took, 1 was good. It is the way it is with birds, right? So do something to engage your mind and your body. Go get that early morning light, early in your daylight, I should say, just in case you're not a morning person. Drink plenty of water, which I really need right now, and it's sitting next to me. And open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around you. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. And it is, best way to find it is to do what Emma says, look for the good and embrace it. All right, beloveds. Oh, yeah, you heard me mention earlier I'm doing the Sunday service tomorrow. I get to wrap up the heroic journey, which is why I got to get my notes in order, because, yeah. Oh, Jesse took us on a wild ride, and I get to bring us home. So that's what I know is happening. If you want to know what else is going on, please email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact. That way, you will always know what's going on, even when we don't. Or when I don't. Because somebody always knows what's going on. Sometimes we just have to look it up. So have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, an enchanting day, a magical day, a joyous day, a living in the now day, a being present, a meeting interesting people, reading a fascinating book day, a learning a new hobby day. Or picking up an old hobby that you hadn't done in a while. There's that too. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough. Just as you are. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. Because there is no time in God. Life is eternal. It just changes form. And life is always young. It just changes form. All right, beloveds. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. Know that Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. And then we will have an amazing service for you at 11. And I'm looking forward to it. So we are going to be stepping back out into the sun. And life will never be the same again. All right, beloveds. If you need us, catch us on all the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Know that you're loved. and I will see you next time.